A second deepwater harbour will be built near Whyalla to cater for the state's booming mining industry. An international call for tenders goes out tomorrow to build a port capable of moving millions of tonnes of precious ore.
This is Australia's great mining dream, Olympic Dam, the $1 trillion BHP operation in South Australia's far north that heralds our state's arrival as the mining industry's dominant force.
We've now just been re-rated as fourth in the world, but this time ahead of Western Australia for future mining prospects.
The company's planning a multi-billion-dollar expansion next year that will make this the biggest open-cut mine in the world. Transportable houses on desert plots at Roxby Downs go in at the rate of one every 2 days.
There's large waiting lists for any rental accommodation. People have to go to places like Woomera to stay.
A few hundred kilometres northwest, prospectors have turned the prominent Hill copper and gold mine into a prominent hole at breakneck speed. Construction started in late 2006, but within months, Oxiana will begin exporting $1 billion worth of precious copper concentrate every year. 70 former Mitsubishi workers and 26 people from Indigenous communities among droves of locals being skilled up by the company.
90% of our workforce in the mine are South Australians. 85% of the people that work in the mine have never worked in a mine before.
And signs the demographics of the workforce are shifting.
It's just like when you were little, you used to play with them little yellow Tonka toys, the trucks and all that, and now, you get up and you're driving one.
To service the growing industry, the state government plans to build a major new port in the Upper Spencer Gulf.
We've gone from 4 mines to 9 mines in the space of just a couple of years, including the world's biggest mines. So there's going to be a big demand for more infrastructure.
It could be operational within 3 years. Matt Doran, 10 News.
Boom times 2 for the state's southeast with the opening of a $300 million marina. Developers have been swamped with interest by both job hunters and those wanting a rather cosmopolitan lifestyle miles from Adelaide.
On a landmark day, quiet little Cape Jaffa was anything but. 8 years in the making and a fair share of scepticism, today the developers felt like they could almost walk on the 800 million litres of water that weren't there 6 days ago.
I have a plan to sit my great-grandchildren on my knee when I'm old and grey and say, back in 2008, this is what we did.
Within 5 years, this will boast 570 homes, many with private berths, a tavern and stores. Stage 1's blocks have already sold out.
We decided that by the sea would be the way to go, and of course my husband's a keen fisherman.
The 20 berths for professional crayfishermen went within 10 days.
The safety, we've been probably sick of walking down the jetty for 30 years now, getting a belting every day we go down on a rough day.
The developments tipped to swell the town's population to 800 and create another 200 jobs.
Well, for me, it'd be, it means a lot more work and this sort of thing, because I've tendered for jobs here.
The Kingston District Council owns the land, but all expenses are paid by the developer. Once completed, the marina will be handed back to council, which will gain an extra $500,000 a year in rates from stage 1 alone.
We made a commitment to our ratepayers that there'd be no financial exposure. And at the end of the day, when we get the marina back and all the incoming rates, that's will be our bonus for having put in the effort.
They've dredged it to a depth of 3.5 metres, allowing most motor and sailboats to gain access. Even the one and all's able to get through.
And if you're interested, waterfront blocks fetch between $230,000 and $380,000. Brett Clappis, 10 News.